E93 M3 2012, and we're gonna be doing the roof maintenance. So they're a little windy and a sunscreen on me, so I'm shining and I'm gonna be topless for the most part of the video. But anyway, I did already the roof maintenance, the seal maintenance. We're gonna talk a little bit about that in the second or in a minute. And more sure, we're gonna be lubricating the roof. I have penetrating oil, which is safe for the metal, plastic, rubber parts, and the painted parts, which is also really important. It can destroy the rust. If you have rust spots or whatever, it works something like WD-40, and it goes deep inside of the hinges, even they are tight. I'm gonna be using that solution. Not a while ago, I've been trying to use the white lithium grease, which is also safe for all this stuff, but I didn't like it because it stays basically white and it's covered whole lots of like surroundings around the actual hinge, and it doesn't really look good. So for example, that spot right here, and you can see that lithium grease right here, some of the spots at the corner in there, as well some other portions, and that's a whole bunch of that and a whole bunch of this. So after all, I decided to go with something clear. This one have the oilish look, same as your engine oil or whatever. A little bit lighter, I would say. There are a whole bunch of solutions for it. I'll get you the links in the description. I'll try to find also the BMW products, what they suggestion to. I also have a little noise whenever I'm closing the roof or opening the roof. I have a little noise coming from the trunk, and it's kind of squeaky noise. So in that case, I wanted to lube it up, everything. We already did the seals, and if you want to check it out, how to do the seal maintenance on an E93, check the video link in the description or here in the cards. We've been using gummy flex Steve. So in the previous video, I said we have leaky gasket, and they are at the corners, at the passengers and the driver's side. So I'm gonna tell you, right after we did the maintenance for the roof, it started leaking. Yes, it sounds crazy, and it shouldn't do that, because that solution supposed to help you with any type of problem, leaky roof, the silly gaskets, and so on and so on. So the simplest explanation is going to be, do not proceed to the job while it's cold outside or the temperature below 32. Even if it's close to 32, it's still not good. So I'm gonna tell you my story and why did it happen. I opened the roof, I start doing the lubrication cleaning, I add that gummy flag, whatever stuff, onto the gaskets, and then close the roof. Inside of the garage, it was like 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's why it happens. Instead of like having the warm garage with the decent temperature, for example, like today, it's really sunny, the pores on the rubber is open, so the rubber is expand. That's the best weather to do that kind of stuff, the seal maintenance. After you're gonna apply that flag, whatever stuff, gummy flag, onto the seals, you wait approximately 10 to 15 minutes, and then after it's dry, you spray it with a little bit of water and wipe it with the rag. In that case, you're gonna clean the stuff which was left at the top layer, and that's really important because it makes that really smooth and fine surface. If the rubber is not that soft as the other pieces, which is pretty firm and kind of harsh, you don't want it to have that slippery layer onto it. In that case, you just wanted to clean it up or use the interior cleaner, safe solution for it, and do all this stuff. Anyway, the simplest way is do it whenever it's hot, leave the roof open for 10 to 15 minutes at least, then clean the surface after all, especially with the windshield and the front portion of the roof. I'll try to get the microphone as close as possible to the trunk, because whenever the action is going, we having a noise coming from the trunk. The noise what I was talking about, and I'm gonna show you where to lube it up every single piece inside of the car, pretty much every single. Some of them are under the liner, and I already have the video how to remove the liner, the rear portion, the quarter portion. Next week we're going to be removing the front portion, we're going to be removing the whole assembly, the locking mechanism, and so on and so on. So that's going to be quite a video, I would say. But for it now, let's get straight to the lube in the roof. We have a whole bunch of hinges across the board, so every single part which have movement, you want to lube it up. Those hinges, look at that, they're like 4 or 5 of them in there, like 6 actually in one assembly. Also, it's really hard to show you, but if you look at the inside, they're kind of cut out or opening. that's where you want to blast the lubrication, because it goes to the center of the joint, and that's one of the spots to lube it up. Also, look at that wire, it starts disintegrating. Quite easy to replace it after all, but you want to add a little bit of lubrication and it still can last for quite a bit. Let's start lubricating process. Also, the particular penetrating oil solution going to dissolve the previous like lubrication or whatever stuff you add to it, to the joints. But after all, you want to have a clean rag, wrap it around and kind of blast it inside, because it does have the pressure. It's gonna start spraying all over the place, so you want it to kind of cover it up and make sure you're not gonna make a lot of mess after all, and be pretty generous about it. The main portion of the hinge is located at the rear of the car, the quarter roof, which is where at the back, the trunk lid, and the hydraulic, which is inside of the trunk. On both sides there are plastic guards. You basically have to pull them up, and you're going to expose the hydraulic system and some of the other components, which is basically the hinges and so on and so on. As well as I'm going to add a little bit of the footage from the previous time where I've been using the lithium grease. In that case, you're gonna have a little bit more details. After we finished everything at the back here, add the lubrication to pretty much every single joint. We wanted to keep going with the roof and basically unfold it so we can work with the like those hinges right here at the closer to the front, and that's what we're gonna do next. After all, you wanted to make sure you get all of the joints right here at the bottom. For that, you have to open the trunk lid, the secondary one, protective lid, whatever, and basically by pulling up that piece of plastic right here, you can remove it and can get to the remaining of the like hinges after all. So I would say this is more than enough to get for the rest of the joints, which is going to be a couple at the front right here, or a couple more inside, a couple of them at the top right there. Also some of them are right at the back lid right there. Okay guys, after closing and opening the roof for a couple times, it's actually stopped squeaking after all. So let's try to do it one more time. So it was nice and quiet. After all, the wind noise is killing me. I don't know how bad it's gonna be on a microphone. Am I gonna need to do the voiceover? But anyway guys, if you like the video, please hit the thumbs up button there, subscribe my channel, and leave me a comment below. I'll see you next one.